When life puts you in tough situations, don't say, why me? Say, try me. A pleasant morning to each and everyone. Today is the third day of our mid-year virtual inset 2021. May I request everyone to rise for our nationalistic song and followed by a prayer to be led by Mrs. Ruby Hachero.
Bayan ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas.
Let us pray. In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit. Amen. Heavenly Father, we worship, praise, glorify, and love you with all of our hearts. Thank you for all the provisions, guidance, mercy, and protection you showered upon us. Thank you for this brand new life and day you bestowed upon us. Lord, we are sorry for all our sins and shortcomings to you and to our fellow. Though we are the sinners, you don't fail to love us unconditionally. Lord, at this moment, we offer to you our activity today, the virtual mid-year in-service training for teachers. Do bless each one of us, especially the resource speakers. Grant them the wisdom that they share their knowledge to the topic assigned to them. May the Holy Spirit guide us as we journey our life in fulfilling our purpose, which is to teach and educate our learners. May all the things that we do give glory to our name, to your name, through Christ, our only Savior. Amen.
Thank you, Ma'am Hachero. To recap yesterday's activities, let us hear from Mrs. Sheila Helpero, grade 4 teacher.
Good morning. My task today is to give the recap of yesterday's inset. The second day of virtual media inset started with the singing of nationalistic song, followed by a prayer led by Miss Neltea Hilario. After the prayer, Mrs. Janita Montehermoso recap about the first day inset, and Mrs. Michelle Eduarte gave the thought for the day. The introduction of the resource speakers of the morning session was followed and was given by Mrs. Geraldine Hipanayao. The first speaker was Mrs. Maria Sol Hinona, Teacher 1, discussed about initiating skills and strategies in implementing distance learning delivery modality, followed by Mrs. Romela Mateo, Teacher 2. She reviewed and checked the mathematics modules based on the MELCs. After the discussion of our speakers, we had unfreezing activities led by the kinder and SPED teachers. After the presentation, Mrs. Cynthia Ceballos, Master Teacher 1, our next speaker discussed about strengthening skills and knowledge in conducting action research in the new modality. She ended her discussion at 11:30 in the morning and was declared a lunch break for everyone. The afternoon session was started by Mrs. Joanne Laporta, who introduced our next speaker. Mrs. Elena Islabra, Teacher 2, our speaker, demonstrated actively and lively about the integration of two or more learning disciplines. After the demonstration, the next resource speaker, who introduced by Mrs. Doren Islabon, was Mr. Rigi Heriani, our ICT coordinator. He discussed about ESAT and other ICT concerns. The inset ended at 3:05 in the afternoon. Thank you and God bless us all.
Thank you, Ma'am Helvero. To inspire us for today's activity, Mrs. Mary Joyce Laurente will share to us. Thank you, Ma'am Helvero. To inspire us for today's activity, Mrs. Mary Joyce Laurente will share to us the thought of the day.
Good morning. My task today is to deliver thought of the day and just reflect to the video presentation.
Thank you, Ma'am Laurente, for inspiring us. At this moment, Mrs. Consuelo Gayas will introduce to us our guest speaker.
To our dear Principal, Dr. Rita S. Caigoy, fellow teachers, friends, ladies and gentlemen, a pleasant and wonderful morning. It is my great pleasure to introduce our resource speaker this morning, who is going to talk to us about Republic Act 6713, also known as Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees, a subject that we should all bear in mind as we practice our duties and responsibilities as public servants. Our resource speaker this morning is a graduate of Bachelor of Science in Commerce, major in accounting at University of San Agustin, and finished his master's degree in public governance at West Visayas State University. She had worked for Civil Service Commission since 1990. That is 3 decades and a year, or 31 years, holding various positions. Currently, she is the Supervising Human Resource Specialist and designated as Officer in Charge of Policies and System Evaluations Division of the Civil Service Commission, Region 6. Her awards resonate throughout her success in her field. She is the National Awardee of Gawad Kagitingan, Regional Awardee of Gawad Kahusayan, Makabayan Awardee, and Awardee for Kakaibang Output. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming Mrs. Lucrecia Hintapanan Garces.
Good morning, everyone. To Dr. Rita Caigoy, our school principal, to Sir Edmund Merasul, our district supervisor, and all teachers present. Good morning. Thank you for inviting me to talk about RA 6713. Okay, do you know about the parable of the teacup? Before we will start, may I request the participants to please open your video. I-unmute nyo lang, ma'am, sir. I want to see your faces. Okay, so thank you very much. No? So do you know about the parable of the teacup? Do you have any knowledge regarding the parable of the teacup? Anybody? Those who are willing to answer, you may raise your hand or you may unmute, no? And you can talk or you can write comments in your chat box. Anybody? Are you familiar with that? No? Okay. So this is a journey wherein everybody is sharing this, no? This is often used by Bruce Lee in teaching his students the art of learning. Do you know Bruce Lee? Anybody? La? Okay. So Bruce Lee is a Chinese American, no? He is known as Lee Jun Fan, no? He is the master or director of the martial arts. And then, amnesia ang ginagamit niya in order to teach, no, his students. So, si Bruce Lee.
So familiar ka muna sa kay Bruce Lee. Now, for those younger generations, maybe you're not familiar, but for our generations, maybe you are familiar with that. So this parable says that a man had studied martial arts for many years when he decided to seek the tutelage of the great master to perfect his craft. Meeting with the master for the first time, he told the old man of all his accomplishments, knowledge, leaving hardly space for the masters to respond. So nagpadayaw siya, no? Nagpadayaw siya, siling niya ang mga accomplishments siya amusini, and he masters already the martial arts, no? So daw ang iya nga master daw find it hard nga daw wala na siya sing inugtudlo because tanan na master yan na, no? The master got up and gathered cups and a pot tea. So the master began to pour the tea, starting with his guest cup, while the man continued talking all he had learned, hoping to impress the teacher with his skill and understanding. So nakuha si master sang pitsil, no, sang pot of tea, and then ginpour niya na sa cup, no. And while the student is nagapadayaw siyempre sa mga skills, sa mga understanding, sa tanan nga kinabakadma niya sa martial arts. So the master poured tea very slowly and kept going, even the liquid reached the top of the cup. At the first, the student didn't say anything, but when the tea began to cover the whole tray, he couldn't stand it any longer. So gin-pour to sang master. So ginkuha niya to sa cup hasta nga ma-overflow ang cup nga nagasarubra na, no? So natingala si student nga ang ginubra na ni master. No. So the cup is overflowing. You must stop pouring. So amo nambal ni student, naga-overflow na dapat untatan mo na master. So the master said, the cup is like you. You are so full of knowledge you have gained, you don't have a room for anymore. So nagambal sa master nga tungod sa mga gin-explain niya, ginpadayaw niya sa iya nga master, wala na sang room for improvement, wala na sang inugtudlo sa iya si master. So I am to teach you anything, you must first empty your cup. So before we will start this RA6713, may I request everybody to please empty your cup. No, kay kung may ara ka mo nagda sa inyo nga mga mind, wala na ta sang isulod dira because it is already very full. So you should have to empty it first so that we can learn, no? We have something to learn and to ponder. So okay na? Nadula naman sila. Gusto ko yung makita yung mga faces, your beautiful faces. No? Okay. Pila na tatanan ni Di? How many participants do we have? 16. Okay. Okay, sige. Okay. So, can I be heard clearly? Mabatian ako ninyo? Clearly heard? Or yes. Can you say approve or any sign, thumbs up in your icon?
Paano raday?
Hello? Okay, so I hope you can hear me. Okay, so as we have said kanina, we will talk about Republic Act number 6713. Or this Republic Act is known as the Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. Who among of you here has a knowledge or may nabalaan na kamo kung anong buot sinisang hambalon sang Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees? May ara na kamo nabalaan sina? May ara na kamo nga mga what we call this ideas? Anybody? You can chat in the chat box. or you can raise your hand. Para at least may ano kita, may encounter, no? It is not only a one-way traffic. Si Ma'am Rosemary nagkapot sa iya ulo, no? Anything, Ma'am Rosemary? Do you have any knowledge? Huya-huya pa siya, no? Okay. So this Republic Act was authored by Senators Jovito Salonga and Rene Sagisag. It was approved on February 20, 1989, so dugay na. And it took effect on March 25, 1989. And likewise, the Commission issued a memorandum effective April 2, 1989 on this Republic Act 6713. The guidelines, internal, or what we call this, guidelines. Okay. So this is our constitutional mandate. So this Republic Act, no, it is stated there in Article 11 of Section 1 of 1987 Philippine Constitutions. Okay. So public office is a public trust. Amo gini ang Bible naton. Public office is a public trust. Public officers and employees must at all times be accountable to the people, serve them with utmost responsibility, integrity, loyalty, and efficiency. Okay. So amo na natong terminang balon. Public office is a public trust. So what do we mean by public office is a public trust? Anybody? Ano ni ang buot naton ng balon sa aton di nga kinaraya? Karaya man ako itag gimbal ako. So you can talk in kinaraya or you can speak in Tagalog, you can speak in English. If you want, you can speak in Spanish, no? Anybody? Your idea? Wala gid. Okay, so when we say public office is a public trust, the officers are being mere agents and not rulers of the people. Okay. The officers, kita, are just mere agents and not rulers of the people. So, self-explanatory. Where no one man or set of men has a propriety or contractual right to an office. Okay. So, hindi silingay, ari kita di. We have the propriety, may right kita, contractual right na atong gidini, no? Okay. Every officer accepts office pursuant to the provision of law. Okay. Nga nakamaistra kita diri. Or nga nakasulod ako sa civil service. By virtue of what? Pamangkot ko sa inyo nga nakasulod kamo sa central school, how? Gintawag lang kamo ni sir kag ni ma'am, ni principal. Or ginsugo lang kamo sa balay. O kadto kamo to sa central school ka magtudlo. So, what are the processes nga gin-encounter ninyo, nga gin-experience ninyo, nga nagkasulod kita diri sa government service? Di bala, gin-issuehan kita appointment? No? Because of that appointment, we were here. Because we accept on the office pursuant to the provision of law. So before you accept office, di ba nag-take out ka? Nag-take out ka mo, wala. Lasing ka sabat. Ara pa ka mo dira? That is, may I see your faces. Basi ka istorya lang po diha. Okay. So, you take your oath of office. So, wala sing nagapungko sa isa ka posisyon unless and until that person takes his or his oath of office. Okay? So, amo na siya. Holds the office as a trust for the people. So, ang pagsalig sa mga tao ara sa aton. Okay. Makita, man nyo kanuna, siling minsin o ganit nga elective official nagsiling nga, kayo ang boss ko. Diba? So, anong kakatabo? Okay. the right to ponder. So now, you are accountable to the people. So what do we mean by accountability? Accountable kita for our actions, decisions. We are accountable to the people. So when we say accountability, you are answerable. No? The answerability of an individual for his actions. So kung whatever actions, decisions nga i-ubrahon mo, you are answerable to the people. Now here, the obligation of public officials is to ensure for the fulfillment of assigned and accepted duties within the framework of the authority and resources provided. Okay, framework of the authority. So like for example, teacher 1 kita, what is our authority? Until where ang aton nga authority? No? So, what is your duties and obligations as indicated in your di nyo gani na makita ang inyong duties and obligations? Ginapirmahan bala na naton? Anybody? Kay may premyo sa akon. Diin ta gani na makita ang aton duties and responsibilities being a teacher or being a master teacher or being an administrative assistant. Diin ta na gani makita. Ginapirmahan naton ina, no? So it could be seen in your position description form, PDF, no? Signed by you and by your supervisor. Nalipat sila. Okay. Sino ang nakadumdum dira? May I see your hand? Wala gid? Okay. So that is why we have to refresh our mind, no? Because I know this RA 6713 balaan nyo na ni, no? Okay. Next. Who are covered? Sino ni siya ang cover sa RA 6713? Kita lang bala? What do you think? Sino ni siya ang coverage siya sini? Okay. So we say all officials and employees of the government. Ang tanan-tanan nga employees and officials of the government, whether elective or appointive. Ma-differentiate niyo ang elective from appointive? Kung we say elective, sino ni sila? Anybody? Pamatiaman niyo ako sa inyo voice ay? Sino ni? Okay. Elective officials are those, sino ni sila? Okay, public officials. So we are public officials. All of us are public officials, but those public officials are classified into elective and appointive. So elective officials, amo ni si mayor, si congressman, si barangay kapitan, ang buto naton bala. They assume office because of the powerful votes of the people. Ginbuto naton sila. So they assume office. Hindi man na sila da mapungko kung wala naton ginbuto, di ba? Okay. Now appointed by virtue of appointment. So kita sina kamo gin-isyuhan kita appointment, no? That is why ari kita dire. Kung wala kita gin-isyuhan appointment, hindi kita ka-teach. Kung ma-teach kid man kita, ano gani kita daw volunteer lang kita. We do not receive any salaries, no? So we are the appointed public officials. Ang may mga gin-isyuhan appointment, whether permanent or temporary, whether career or non-career. So ang career position kamo tanan permanent, no? Sino di ang temporary o terminus? Wala, di ba la? So permanent tanan ang appointment naton. No, and we belong to career service. When we say career service, nagsulod kita because of merit and fitness. Nag-undergo kita screening. Ang mga non-career are those, no, mga coterminous, mga executive assistant, no, they are what we call this, ang ila appointment depends upon the discretion of the appointing authority. Wala sila sang what we call this fixed or they are called employees with fixed tenure of office, no? Depende sa mga contractual, mga casual, no? Amo na ang mga non-career. Kitaya, we belong to the career service. Whether we receive compensation regardless of the amount. Okay? Regardless of the amount. So, amo ni sila tanan ang covered sa RA 6713. I am too fast? Actually, sigid man kung maghambal, if you cannot catch up, please call my attention. Chat na lang kamo, hindi ka mo maghuya-huya or raise your hand. Just inform me, ma'am, please slow down, no? Because hindi kami ka-catch up. Okay? Is that clear? May I see the icon? Ara pada ka mo? Hello? Okay, thank you. Now, ari naman, why is there a need to be oriented on the rules of conduct? Mga kinanlan ko pa na mamati, man nga, kinanlan ko pa ng orientation, man, balaan ko naman ni, no? So that is why I am saying we have to empty our cup. So nga we need to be oriented. Nga kinanlan nun. Okay. Often not well understood, and when understood, they are often ignored than followed. Okay. So, balaan taman na. Balaan ko na. Galing kay ti. No? Sige lang, kaysa una, amo man ni kami. Amo na diya nga, amo niya nga namatan, amo na halina tawos kami sa kalibutan, amo na. No? So, amo na ang ato na sundon. So, it is ignored rather than followed. Too much preoccupation, tama kita kadamo sang obra, we are too busy, no? So daw na-neglect na naton or na-ignore na naton. Continuous observance of wrong practice. So amo na siling ko, sang una amo man ni obra naton. So kay amo na ning obra naton, bisan nabal-an naton nga hindi eksakto, kay amo na nang obra naton, we will still follow, no? Because we are afraid to change. No? Mahambal naman natin sala na, ti karon kun sala na masiling ang upod mo sala man na kay sa una, halin sa una amo ni ang aton ginaobra. So amo na lang ning sundon naton because even though we know nga salain na because amo na ning aton namatan nagtagtao naton sa kalibutan, amo na ni we still observe the wrong practice. So there is a need for orientation. Set clear border, right versus wrong. So maman-an naton ko ano pinag-eksakto, ano gid ang hindi, in order that we could decide. Because at the end of the day, the decision is still ours. Uphold public interest. So syempre, paano nato ma-maintain ang trust, no? Sang taton nga mga tumuluyo, no? If we as a person, wala naton gina-practice ang what is right. Okay. So, ano ni ang mga component sang RA 6713? Ano ni ang iya nga gina-deal, no? So, norms of conduct. When we say norms, mga rules, no? Mga guidelines to be followed. Duties of public officials and employees. So, ano bala ang ato niya duties and responsibilities? Prohibited acts and transactions. Ano ang hindi natin pwede ubrahon, no? Statement and disclosure. So, sa statements and disclosure, di ba we are obliged, no, to file our statements of assets and liabilities and to disclose tanan naton nga paryente, no, who are in the government service, no, until the fourth civil degree of consanguinity or affinity. Divestment and penalties. Okay. So we will deal with norms of conduct, our duties and of officials and employees, prohibited acts, and penalties. Okay, norms of conduct. Sino sa inyo makahatag sa ako ni isa? There are 8 norms of conduct. Sino sa inyo nakahibalo bisan isa lang? No? Actually, when I enter government service, sa civil service, 1990, ginapa sa ulo ni sa amon. And this is part of our written examination. No? And then, sang ara na kami sa service, ginapa sa ulo man ni sa amon kung ano ang norms of conduct. Because this will serve as our Bible, no? As our guide in doing our actions, our decisions. No? Okay. Okay, so there are 8. We have commitment to public interest, professionalism. So, balaan nyo na, batian nyo na siguro, no? Justness and sincerity. Political neutrality, responsiveness to the public, nationalism and patriotism, commitment to democracy, and the last is simple living. Okay, so I know nga nakabati na kamo sini. Sino wala sa inyo nakabati man? Before this seminar, before this orientation, I know that you are already aware of this, no? Okay, so we'll go further. So when we say commitment to public interest, sino ang may idea? Sino dire? Commitment to public interest. Okay. Public officials and employees shall always uphold the public interest over and above personal interest. So I will repeat. Public officials and employees shall always uphold the public interest over and above personal interest. 24 hours employee. Magtratrabaho ng lampas sa takdang oras kung kinakailangan. So if you can recall our pledge, no? Panunumpa ng kawani sa gobyerno because every Monday morning gina-recite na namon. Magtratrabaho ako ng lampas sa takdang oras kung kinakailangan. No? Kung kinakailangan. So even it is your holiday, even if it is kung kinahanglanon nga you have to finish your task for the good of the people, for the common good, okay na siya. So, bato-bato sa langit, ang matamaan, huwag magalit. No? Limit personal concerns. Okay. So, limit personal concerns. Then, common good. So, ang tanan naton nga obrahon, it is for the common good. Okay. Government resources and powers must be used efficiently, effectively, honestly, and economically. Okay. Naari. For official use only. For official use also. Bring home office supplies. Recycle use scratch papers for drafts. Not for personal consumption. Putting off equipment not in use. So like for example, napuli na kamo, pagwa niyo sa inyong kwarto, ipatyo naton ang mga suga, no? Kung may mga electric fan, mga aircon, we should put off, no? Repair before replace. No, for example, kinana na siya ikayuhon na nato na daan samtang gamay pa ang iya nga diferensya, no? Di naton paghulaton nga magdako nga hindi na naton ma-repair. So what you will do is just to replace. Contribution of taxpayers' money. Ano niyang butihang balon, no? Because what we are using is from our own pocket. Nag-contribute man kamo, di ba? Dako ang aton deductions, no? Hindi na kita nakapalagyo, no? Kita nga mga salaried personnel, no? Kung pila ang aton tax bracket, automatic na iya nga ginabuhin sa aton nga sweldo. So hindi naton pag-uyangan, okay? Use time wisely. Overtime for official purposes and using of passive. No? Because sometimes isa nga to niya kaisa daw pampatay oras lang bala, no? Okay, so as what I am saying, bato-bato sa langit, huwag matamaan, huwag magalit, no? Okay, so this is just our orientation. It is up for you to ponder. Okay. Now, we have professionalism. So we are all professionals, no? How do we show professionalism in dealing with our clients, in dealing with our students? Okay, we should perform our duties and responsibilities with highest degree of excellence, professionalism, intelligence, and skills. That is why, no, nag-enset kita, may ara ka mo continuous training every year or every month or whatsoever to improve your skills and knowledge. No, naga-improve kita sa aton skills and knowledge. Like for example, as I have heard kanina, kahapon, you have Mr. Reggie here as your speaker. So to touch you on the use of this technology, isn't it, sir? So, enhance ang inyong skills so that you can perform your duties and responsibilities very well, no? You will be equipped, no, with knowledge and skills. Okay. So, extra miles in filing documents, cleaning ahead of deadlines, deal with clients professionally, set aside personal issues, update knowledge, research, study, rules and regulations, schooling. So, amo na naga-master's degree kita, or any other, naga-scholarship kita, no? Innovations on duties and unconscious competence. May ara kita ka competency na dapat natin i-develop. They shall enter public service with utmost devotion and dedication to duty. So, ano ang 5 dimensions of professionalism? So, we have specialized knowledge. So, that is why may ara ka mo magatudlo math, magatudlo English, magatudlo aral pan, magatudlo IT, because that is your specialized knowledge. Skills, application of knowledge. Standards, measure quality, go beyond. So, paano nato na-measure ang aton nga skills and specialized knowledge? So, there is a standards. Spirit, something in common good, shared, no? So, we are doing something for the common good. So, amo gina ang aton permi nga end result, common good. And supportive environment, titles, compensations, rewards, and bonuses. So when I say supportive environment, syempre daw hindi man naka-perform, di man naka-deliver sang aton nga services. Kung galingin ang ulo naton nga wala kita tsing ibakal sang pagkaon, no? So may mga compensations. So kung may mga nami kita nga mga performance, may mga rewards man kita, gina-acknowledge man kita, no, whether it is monetary or non-monetary. And hindi na pa minsan naton permi nga may samayo, may bonus naman kita, no, aside from our salary. So there is a supportive environment, no, for us, no, like your titles, so promotions, when it says titles, hindi lang kamo yung magstay forever sa inyo position, no, because staying forever in your position is your choice. Why? Nga nakasiling ko nga it is your choice. Because kung nag-eskwela kita, nag-improve kita sa aton nga credentials, hindi kita magstay too long, no? So, in other words, it is our own choice. Whether gusto kita makapapromote or hindi. So, kung gusto natin magsaka man natin na position, magdako man natin sweldo. So, we have to make a good choice. May swela kita, no? Master's degree. Actually, hindi pa ulihi ang tanan, no? I have finished my master's degree only in 2017. Kaya siling ko sa una, din ako yung mag-eskwela, no? Because kontento na ako. I don't want more. But because of fortuitous event, no? Nga gusto ko mangin masako, even though masako na ko nga daan, I enroll in my master's degree. And luckily, natapos ko, no? At the age of 51. No? Okay. So, hindi pa ulihi ang tanan, hindi ka magsiling at tigulang. Naku, wala yasang tigulang niya kung gusto yung mag-eskwela. No? Wala sing kakatigulang because learning is a continuous process. Okay, loving your work. You have to love your work. Appreciate things you do. No? Okay. Paano mo mabalaan nga na ang professionalism was manifested sa imo nga pag-ubra? Diyan mo na siya makita. Like for example, you students, you teachers, paano mo makita nga maalam gali, paano mo what we call this, paano mo ma-determine or paano ikaw ka-conclude nga maalam ang imo nga estudyante? Diyan mo na siya makita. Tulukon lang naton, balaan na naton maalam. Diyan na siya ginamanifest. Hello, are you there? Wala, hindi ka mo gusto, may premyo sa akon. May jacket, ako to halin kay, Kuya Willie. Okay. Sino, no? So, mamanifest na, nga maalam na siya nga estudyante, tungod na, perfect yung permi ang test. Diba? Sa aton, mamanifest na, based on your IPCR. Ano ni tawag sa inyo IPCR? Ang inyo nablang yearly IPCRF. Yan. So makita ina sa inyo dira. And then makita man ina sa inyo nga principal and your supervisor wherein naga-classroom observation na sila, di ba la? No, ginatanaw kung paano ikaw, di ba la? Gakandakin man classroom observation. Sang una, subong wala na, no? Kay pandemic, no? Okay. So it is very hard. So dira na sa gina manifest nga we are really knowledgeable. We are really expert in our own field. Okay, political neutrality. Number 3. Na iguro ma-exam ta after, no? Okay. When I say political neutrality, provide service to everyone without unfair discrimination, regardless of party, affiliation, or preference. May natabo wala diri nga masiling ka nga tinawo na siya ni boss, tinawo ni siya ni amo ni, hindi ta siya pag-i-cater kay tinawo na siya sa amo ni. So, sa political neutrality, we have to cater everybody regardless of its political affiliation or preference, without unfair discrimination. Okay. So, may palakasan. Prohibit active participation in political campaign or posters. No? During election, pwede kita kasiling, no? Nga, amo ni akon gina-support. Pero hindi mo pag singano ng imong upod nga kinahanglan supporteran mo man si amo sini, no? I-say mo lang ang imo nga kung sino imo supportaran. Ag tapos kamo sa subong Facebook, hindi kita mag-like, no? Neutral kita dapat. So kung anuhin man ang sa aton, aton na lang na, no? As an employee of the government, we are prohibited to participate actively in political campaigns. Our duty is simply to vote. Okay. Okay na? So the fourth, justness and sincerity. So we should remain true to the people at all times. Shall not discriminate against anyone, especially the poor and the unprivileged. Respect the rights of others at all times. No? So, self-explanatory. Refrain from doing acts contrary to law, good morals, good customs, public policy, public order, public safety, and public interest. Shall not dispense or extend undue favors on account of their relatives, whether by consanguinity or affinity. Okay. Now, to be just and sincere means to serve people without discrimination, regardless of where they came from, how they look or dress, position, rank or status, and religious affiliation. Because human as we are, no, makita naton gani nga sexy to kag daw okay to ya. Pagkita naton da sige ta dayon no, pero makita naton tong wala tsinelas o kun damo la OTL, no? Ang kahigya bi puro laod, hindi ka ilis, daw wala lang naton ginasapak, di ba? O kung makita naton to nga high ranking employee ni siya, no? So, layo pa, nalagas na naton, pero kung ang hamak lang kita nga janitor or what, ginaano lang naton, no? So, regardless of ano man ang iya nga itsura, paano man na siya ginadress, ano man ang posisyon niya, ano man na iya nga rank of religious affiliation, we have to give service, sincere service. You have to serve. So that is what we mean by justness and sincerity. So there are four ways how to test, no, some justness and sincerity. So remember that of the things we think, say, or do, first we will ask ourselves, it is the truth? Amo man ang kamatuoran? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Kung obrahon ko ni ma-build goodwill bla kag ang mangin maayo ang among relations? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? So this is how we test, no, of the things we think, say, or do in doing justness and sincerity. Now, number 5, responsiveness to the public. Extend prompt, courteous, and adequate service to the public. So how do we display courtesy, prompt, and adequate service to our clients? So ang client ninyo, inyong mga, we have both internal and external clients. So your internal clients, your fellow teachers, your external clients are the parents, no? Our students, no? Outsiders. Provide information in clear and understandable language. No, like for example sa aton magsulod ang isa ka ginikanan, masidi nga diin kwarto ni Ma'am Amuni, diin ang kwarto ni Ma'am Herafil. Masiling lang kamo dito siya, ma'am. Mas siya nga didto, di na siya nga didto. Okay? So, we should provide clear and understandable language, in a clear information and in understandable language. Masiling ka nga, diri ka mamaagi, maliko ka, pag abot mo sa corner nga to, count ka muna, amo na ang kwarto ni Ma'am Herafil. Or diri ka mamaagi, no? So because, hindi kita kasi nga dito, because if the parent or if the client is not familiar, no? Sang rooms ng isa ka maestra, no? We should be sensitive to the need of others. Sensitive man kita sometimes, but not oversensitive. Openness of information. Public consultations and hearings. Encourage suggestions. Okay. So, hindi lang sila nga ato lang tanan. We should seek suggestions because even though tama kita kaalam, but we do not have a monopoly of knowledge. May ara gid na sa aton, no, na hindi kita kabalo. Every individual is unique. Kag may ara gid na siya nga nahibaluan na hindi kita ka hibalo, no. So we should encourage suggestions. There is no monopoly of knowledge. Avoid red tape. That is under Republic Act 9485. Okay. Next, number 6, nationalism and patriotism. Be loyal to the Republic and to the Filipino people. Okay. Actually, kaisa nakita ko bala, no? There are people, no, nga every Monday morning or every time may ara kita nga flag raising ceremony. Ang mga tao bala nga pareho man naton nga Pinoy, sige lang ya lakat na naton, daw wala kita ga-acknowledge and we do not give respect to our flag. Pero may nakita ako last time na nagalaga nga foreigner, no? Pagkanta nga may flag ceremony, the foreigner stop. No? So tani kita man, no? It should be inculcated to us na kung mag-raise kani ang flag, we should give respect man sa aton nga Philippine flag. Promote the use of locally produced goods, resources, and technology. So, mahilig kita sa ano gani? Wala sa exempted, no? Basta ako, dala na da. Dala na da, no? So, mahilig kita sa ano? Miss Arlene, ilar mo, Ma'am Arlene, mahilig gani kita, ma'am, sa ano, ma'am? You can type or you can unmute your mic. Ano gani mahilig kita? Or mahilig ikaw? Kasi hindi ka hilig. Okay. So, mahilig kita sa imported. Diba? Basta imported. Namigid na yan ang imported chocolate, imported aton bag, imported aton bayo, no? Tati bala, no? So, we should have promote locally produced resources and products and technology, no? Kay amo gid man na kita mo kinami gid man tulukon kun imported, di bala, no? So sa nationalism and patriotism, we should promote locally produced products. Na encourage appreciation and pride of the country and people, maintain and defend Philippine sovereignty against foreign intrusion, China Sea. Okay. So, sa mga delicacies, sa mga pasalubong, no? Advertise na to ng tourist spots. Why tapag malibot ang bilog ng Pilipinas, nagkanto na kita sa Japan, no? Sa diin pa na, sa Singapore, sa Hong Kong, pero wala pa natin maubos ang Pilipinas, no? Namigid man kung sa sagwa, ano? No? So sa patriotism and nationalism, we have, no, to advertise tourist spots. Actually, kadamo, subong sa manami na to nga tourist spots. May na-discover ako isa arada sa may Alimudjan, the Mispa Resort. No, nami siya actually. Above the mountain. Wala ko na siya gina-advertise ha. Wala ko na share. I just visited that place last week. Now, nationalism and patriotism is anchored on love of one's country. No, love of one's country. It is the feeling of having a sense of national identity or sense of nationhood. It is being aware of binding forces that unite Filipino people, such as common soil, common ancestry, kinship of blood, and common destiny. So, anchored na siya sa, when I say nationalism and patriotism, it refers to your love of your country. Love of country stems from a sincere and deep feeling for the true worth of our country. Okay. So here I have said, gawing lingkod bayani ang bawat kawani. May nakabati na kamo sini? Wala gising kasabat sa akon, ah? Anybody? Please unmute. Si Ma'am Herafil akong tuksoon, ah. May nabatian ka na ni Ma'am Herafil, ang gawing lingkod bayani ang bawat kawani. This is a tagline. Gawing lingkod bayani is the core purpose of the Civil Service Commission. No? So this is our mission, gawing lingkod bayani ang bawat kawani. So that is why we have several awards. We have several nominees, no? Sa Gawad, you have heard also that sa Gawad Kahusayan, mga Dangal ng Bayan awardee, mga Pag-asa awardee. So kung may ara kamo diri nga nami ang iyang performance worthy of recognition, pwede nyo na ma-recommend, no? Because I think may ara subong ang virtual seminar orientation ang civil service on how to package, no, sang aton nga nominees for the national awards. Kung may ara sa inyo, feel free to visit our office in Mandurriao or feel free to call us. Ara man da sa amon website ang telephone number, and you know our website www.csc.gov.ph. Okay. Ari na. Walang pag-ibig ang higit pa sa pag-ibig sa tinubuang lupa. Sa aton nga aralin pan, no? Sino kani ang maestra sa aralin pan naton, ah? No? Sino ni siya naghambal nga hero naton? Walang pag-ibig ang higit sa pag-ibig sa
Andres Bonifacio.
Kanya na iya blood.
Ma'am. Andres Bonifacio, ma'am.
The Philippines. Sino da ang aral pan? Andres Bonifacio, si Ma'am Gayoso. Very good. May permo ka, Ma'am Gayoso, sa akon. Okay. No? Si Ma'am Gayoso. Silatun ko, Ma'am, ngalan mo, Ma'am. Okay. Okay. Very good, Ma'am. Okay, next. No sacrifice can be too great for the country. Sino ni siya nga hero? Oh, sino abe? No sacrifice can be too great for the country. Anybody? Oh. Wala? Okay. Di si Ma'am Gayoso lang may permas, may premyo sa akon, no? Okay, si Ma'am lang. Okay. This was said by Gregorio del Pilar. So, dira nila ginpakita ang ilang love of country. Wala naman nato ng history nila ni ano. Okay. Now, Philippine national symbol sa kansagan, naging ni kamo, no? Ini, may masabat ka sa ako, may premyo ni sila mo, no? Padala ko kay Mrs. Gayas, no? Wala ko dala sa buong proof, promise. Listahon ko na siya. Okay. Philippine national symbols. Ano ang ating national flower?
Pampalita.
Sampagita. Oh, dami. Sino na? Ma'am Elena? Sino na to? So, Ma'am Elena, Labra. Sino? Ano to gani? Sampagita? Beto, namunta kong Sampagita? Wow. So, it was declared by Governor General Frank Morphy through Proclamation number 652, Series 1934. And under Republic Act 8491, it is known as the Flag and Heraldic Code of the Philippines. Okay, ready na ka mo? Damo pa ni. Duha pa lang. Si Ma'am Islabra, number 3. Okay. National Gem.
Ginto.
Sir Alarmo, unmute your mic. Sir Alarmo.
Pearl.
Please unmute. Dean.
Pearl, ma'am, pearl. Perlas.
Sir Ilarmo. Ma'am Ilarmo.
Perlas, ma'am, perlas.
Chat na lang.
Perlas.
Chat na lang, ma'am.
Perlas.
Ma'am Ilarmo.
Perlas.
Pearl. Si Ma'am Islabra, si Ma'am Ilarmo. Okay, Pearl. Okay.
Perlas.
Okay, si Ilarmo. Ma'am Elena, okay, disqualified. Okay. So it is our national gem is Philippine Pearl.
Hindi batiin ako. Hindi batiin ko masabat
So declared by President Fidel V. Ramos through Proclamation number 905 series of 1996. Ready na da ka mo? Okay. Next. No. South Sea Pearl as the national gem. So pearl, batunon tana, pero actually South Sea Pearl na siya. Because may Philippine Pearl man kita. Okay. Okay, next. National bird. Sino naman nagda? Chat box. Anong national bird na ton? Agila. Ma'am Ilarmo, disqualified ka rin. Ma'am Islabra. Ang nagdaog, hindi na lang pwede. Tagaan ta iban, sige tagaan ta iban, what we call this, opportunity, no? Kay isa lang na may price ko, no? So, ikuha na si Ma'am Ilarmo. Sa ano ang kay Ma'am Himpasaw? Eagle. Pero ano na siya? Philippine Eagle. Okay. Sagad-sagad sa ila. Okay. So we are requesting ang nakadaog na ihatag ka lang sa iban, ha? Para tanan ka mo may ara. Ara si Ma'am Mago, no? Nara, dasig si Ma'am. Okay, si Ma'am Magon. Okay, Nara, declared by Governor General Frank Morphy. 1934 pa, no? Okay, ari. National sport, sino na yan sa sport? Balaan yan eh. Ano ato national sport? Ano? Arnis. Si Mamagon. Mamagon, di ka na magsabat. Di wala na ni si Mamagon. Okay. So, isa lang, requesting, si Ma'am Islabra, okay man. So, okay. Isa lang ah. Okay. So, it is Arnes. Si President Macapagal Arroyo. Okay. I want only laptop. Sino na da kay Ma'am Elena? Sino na da? Chat your When you answer, please type your name. Sino to? Si? Kababat? Kababat? Kababat. Okay. So, Ernest. Oh, grade 6 tanan? Oh, nagpaperde? Pambansang kamao. Kita nyo ron. No? Okay. Answer? Okay. So, kita nyo na eh. So, ang pambansang kamao natin is si Manny Pacquiao. And ano si Mami Junicia? Pambansang ano? Pambansang nanay ng kamao. Ano si Mami? Okay. Mami ng bayan. Wala si nag-declare. Okay. National motto. Oh, sagad-sagad ni ka mo. Anong national motto naton? Oh. National motto. Sino na? Wala. Wala kabalo? Wala pa kabalo? Gapaminsan pa, nag-search pa. Ano ato national motto? Dapat sa ulutan ni, no? Sa ulutan ni dapat, no? Ano? Maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalisakan at makabansa. Si Ma'am Higanto ka. Abitan aunta? Maka-Diyos, makatao, makakalikasan at okay, si Ma'am Higanto ka. Okay. Ah, grade 6 man eh. Ah, okay. Okay. So, tanan ko no grade 6. Ba, congratulations sa grade 6. Yehey! Okay. So, may utang ako sa inyo, no? Paalam nyo kay Ma'am nyo Gayas sa next week. Wala ako dala, pero promise, kinista ako din alam ninyo, no? Okay. House and lot. Okay. Now, next, number 7, commitment to democracy. May premyo naman ka, no? When you say commitment to democracy, what do we mean? Tago naman na sila sa ako, no? Okay. Commit to democratic way of life and values. Maintain the principle of public accountability. So, kita ninyo, halin sa puno, dangat sa punta, accountability, gitsaya ang aton nga, kinaistoryahan. And at the same time, off ang mic ko, ma, are you talking? Mic ko ang off? Okay. Okay. So, maintain the principle of public accountability. So, ato nakita nga, accountability, gidya permi, answerable gid kita tanan, no? And for the common good. Uphold the Constitution and put loyalty to the country above loyalty to the persons or party. No? Uphold the Constitution. Kani ang masabat ni sa ako ng mga grade 6 man mo, kaya ginatunan nila sa aral pan mo. Di ba? Oh. Okay. So democracy is a form of government and a way of life. No? As a form of government, it simply means a government for the people, by the people, and of the people. So halin sa elementary, kita dangat mag-high school, dangat mag-college, dangat mag-masteral degree holder ka, amo gini siya ang gina-istoryahan sang government is by the people, for the people, and of the people. So anong features ng democracy? Rule of law, not of men. So ang aton nga, law. Sovereignty of the people. Government officials and employees are accountable to and are merely trustees of the people. Supremacy of the civilian authority over the military at all times. Existence of the 3 branches of the government. Sa social studies naman eh, sa aral pan. Ano ang 3 ka branches of the government natin? Okay, ma'am, you test. Legislative, judiciary, and executive. Si ma'am, ano ni gani? Si ma'am? Si ma'am? Sibalios. Okay, si ma'am Sibalios. Okay. So, si ma'am Sibalios said, ang aton three branches of the government are legislative, executive, and judiciary. Very good. Grade 1 teacher, ha? Very good. Si ma'am. Kuan kini si ma'am guro ng taas kini iya yung aral pan mo. Review sa iya bata. Okay. Okay. Presence of the two-party system, regular elections to enable the people to select their officials. So, amo ng feature ya. Fixed term of elective officials. So, ang aton elective officials, balaw naton man na nga may fixed term of office na sila. Governance and decision-making through transparent process, consensus, majority rule, and popular consultations. So, amo na ang mga features. So, when we say democracy as a way of life, it is founded in a cardinal principle that men are equal before the law in terms of rights, opportunity, dignity, and honor. So, imol ka man kag manggaranon, you have equal before the law in terms of your rights, opportunity, no, dignity, and honor. And men will use their morality and rationality to achieve a better life for themselves, their families, and groups, as well as for their country. So, amo ginapanumdum mo nato, regardless man kung manggaranon ta kag imol kita, we have equal rights in terms of law. Kamo na kaysa kung imol kita, makadto kita sa korte, para ang pao nga ma-defend sa aton nga free, no? Kundi kita ka-afford sang panabang para sa aton. Okay. Na, ari ng pinakasadya, simple living. So from the word simple living, iniya dako niya premyo, ya kung sino maka-istorya sa akon, sa ginasiling nila nga simple living. Simple living. When I say simple living, what do we mean? From the word simple, from the word living. Okay. We should lead modest lives appropriate to position and income. So, kinahanglan kung magpangabuhi kita, mag-ano kita, it is appropriate sa aton position and income. No? Not indulge in extravagant or ostentatious display of wealth. Now, that is why, no, sa office we are wearing our uniform. No? Amo na ang purpose sang uniform para tanan kita palareho. No? Kay siyempre, kung wala ka uniform, kung pareho sa aton nga, para sa akon nga imol, wala ko inong bakal sang akon nga manami nga bayo, ti siyempre, liwat-liwat, kuya bayo ko ino. Pero kung uniform, bisan isa lang ka panid uniform mo, liwat-liwaton mo, di ka balo sila nga isa lang gali ang uniform mo. No? Because all throughout, palareho. No? So, simple living. Live according to visible and legal income. So, we will repeat the 8 norms on conduct. We have commitment to public interest, professionalism, justness and sincerity, political neutrality, responsiveness to the public, nationalism and patriotism, commitment to democracy, and simple living. Mayo guro, makakadto ko sa DepEd kay Sir ano. Balong ko si Sir nga ipart ni guro sa written exam. No? How you do, the way you describe the 8 norms of conduct. No? Okay, joke lang. Pero namin ni siya, no, sa amon, amo giniyang amon. Because if we can, sa aton, nang bisan sa aton, nga wordings, kita lang niya mag sa aton, lang yung pag, intiende, sa 8 norms of conduct, it can guide us in our daily undertakings. Okay. Pagkatao, RA 6710. Now, we will go to the duties of public officials in employees. That is Section 5 under Republic Act 6713. Ano ang atong duties and obligations? Okay, act promptly on letters and requests. Respond to letters and other means of communication sent by the public within 15 working days from receipt. Reply must contain the action taken on the request. Submit annual performance report. Di ba lang may annual ka mo nga IPCRF? Heads or other responsible officers of government agencies shall render a performance report of the agency within 45 working days from end of its year. By the way, nalipat ko kayo na. If you have questions, you can raise your hand. No? I am willing to answer your question. Sa bugos ko nga, with all my knowledge and skills. No? The report shall be open to the public within regular office hours. Process documents and paper expeditiously. Must be processed and completed within a reasonable time from the preparation thereof. So dira sa inyo IPCRF balaan ko may ara na siya nga performance continuum or performance standards nga kung saan-on yun na siya matapos. No? And then pila ang rating ninyo kung matapos yun na siya, no? Whether 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, wherein 5 is the highest and 1 is the lowest. Must contain as far as practicable not more than 3 signatures. No? Kaya kung magsubra na, red tape na, no? Official next in rank or officer in charge shall sign the documents in the absence of duly authorized representative. So, kung wala si ma'am, si principal, si sir, supervisor, there should be an officer in charge who is next in rank, no? To sign routinary documents. Kaya may ara, kita na isang delegation of authority wherein the officer in charge are only allowed to sign or ginabutang na kung ano gidya ang how far is the responsibility or how far is the functions siya bala kung diin gina siya hasta ang iya nga limited bala mo kung officer in charge ka limited lang imo nga authority. So you are authorized to sign documents stated in your office order. Act immediately on the public's personal transactions. Attend to anyone who wants to avail of the services of the office. So like for example, ikaw doon sa office, may kinanlan kay Ma'am A. Masiling ka nga wala si Ma'am A. Di, kung nag-leave to si Ma'am A, pahulaton mo dito damat na mabalik kung kaya mo malang. So pwede man na nato rumangkot ang clients nga ano to tani. So kung makaya mo ya ang iya nga ma-request, so you have to attend, no? Pero kung hindi mo kaya, so you can say nga, pwede ka makakadto di sa amo ning adlaw kay inform ko si Ma'am A nga nagkadto ka di asking for this something, no? Or pwede man hatag mo ang number sa inyong office, magsili nga tawagin lang siya kung sa buwas kung ari siya di before ka magkadto di para hindi ka maruya, no? So pero kung kaya naton, we have to attend, no? Di naton pagpabalik-balikon. Act promptly and expeditiously at all times. Make documents accessible to the public. Nandito ba lang documents? All public documents must be made accessible to and readily available for inspection by the public within reasonable working hours. So may mga exemption man na siya. May ara day nga documents na hindi pwede naton ipatanaw, no? Like for example, 201 files. Makadto matanaw sa PDS ni Ma'am. There should be a written consent kay Ma'am B nga matanaw si Ma'am A sang iya nga PDS. There should be a written request, no? Kay anhon mo ang iya PDS. Basi gamiton mo na siya to file against Ma'am B. No? So before mo ihatag, because there are also documents na hindi pwede basta-basta lang nga i-release sa tao. So may ara kita na sa aton nga guidelines man kung what are documents that should be readily acceptable and what are documents na kinahanglan there should be a need for a court order or a consent from the owner. So section 7, prohibited acts, no, and transactions. Financial and material interest. So ano ni sa buot sa balon sang financial and material interest nga prohibited kita na diri. We should not, as public officials and employees, we should not act directly or indirectly, have any financial or material interest in any transaction requiring the approval of their office. Amo na. So, like for example, ikaw supply officer. Supply officer ka sa office mo, then your office need printing services for 10,000 Christmas cards at 4 pesos each. Ang imo pa kaisa, may printing press and offers to take the printing job at the same cost but will actually charge 375 per card and will give you 25 per card. So, pwede bala ini? What do you think? Pwede mo ni himuon? So, hindi siya pwede. Because you are not allowed. No? No? You should not directly or indirectly have any financial or material interest in any transaction requiring the approval of your office. Okay. Ay, nagaguni-guni ka mo dira, ha? Pinsalawid. Okay. We shall not own, control, manage, or accept employment as officer, employee, consultant, counsel, broker, agent, trustee, or nominee in any private enterprise regulated, supervised, or licensed by their office unless expressly allowed by law. So, pwede lang kita kung it is allowed by law. But if it is not allowed by law, we are not allowed to own or control. So, example, kaya CPA ka, kagaubra ka sa BIR. You are free on Saturdays and Sundays. Kag may neighbor ikaw, nga there is a factory who own, nga ang panagihahan sang Chinese. The Chinese offers you a job as accountant to the office on Saturdays and Sundays. Iti free day mo, no? He even offers that although you will not do the bookkeeping, someone else will sign the books. So ikaw lang yan, hindi kaya magpirma sa books. No? Then comes the time when this Chinese needs to transact with BIR and he approaches you. The result could be that you might be inclined to give the Chinese special treatment that you would not give to others. Di ba la? Oh, pensar ta malawid, okay? No, so may tendency gid kita, no? Kay dira ta siya connected. So kung mag-ask favor siya sa aton office, hindi man pwede nga hindi tapag i-cater ka may ano. So this is not allowed by law. Engage in the private practice of their profession unless authorized by the Constitution or law, provided that such practice will not conflict or tend to conflict with their official transactions. Actually, damo ni siya gaubra sini, no? Like for example, lawyer ka. Lawyer ka in a government, you cannot practice and transact business for himself as a notary public and collect the notary fees because doing so would give him undue advantage. The clients in the government office where the lawyer works have no choice but to go to him for notarial services. Oh, diba? So like for example, lawyer ka. Employed ka sa isa ka government office. Gusto ka mag-practice ang profession mo as a lawyer. It is allowed, provided you have to request for authority from the commission. And as what is said kanina, in practicing your profession, it should not conflict your official functions. Ari ka di gaobra kinahanglan di imo serbisyo kay tungod nga may practice o profession kato damo to yung kinahanglan didto kay imo absent ka dira, so it is not allowed. Pwede ka, allowed ka, like for example, master's degree or doctoral degree holder ka, dili ka gaobra, gusto mo mag-teach sa academe, pwede na, provided may authority ka. Request of authority from the commission to practice your profession. Provided, no, hindi na siya makahamper sa imo nga delivery, sa imo nga functions within your office. How about, like for example, para sa ako, nag-design, ma-retire ako sa civil service. No? Ma-retire ako sa civil service. Masulod ako sa LGU as human resource, HRMO. No? Pwede ba la? Nag-resign bi ako, ma-resign na ako bi subong. No? Next month, masulod ko to sa LGU, HRMO ko to, o budget officer ko to. Pwede ba la? Okay. Hindi pwede. This prohibition is carried even until 1 year after you resign from your office. You cannot also transfer to an office where you exercise some measure of supervision until after 1 year that you have left that particular area of jurisdiction. This is to avoid suspicion that your transfer was made possible because of some favors you have done for the office while still in government service. So, hindi siya pwede. So, kinahanglan, ilapse ko anay 1 year, kag ma-transfer dira. No? Because, ang tanan na government units, ang tanan na government agencies are under the jurisdiction ng Civil Service Commission. Especially nga ara ako sa Policies and Systems Evaluation Division, na we are in charge of assessing and evaluating, conducting audit, no? Sa una audit na ang term, but subong assessment to all government agencies. So, hindi pwede. No? So, hulaton ko anay nga ma-lapse ang 1 year bago ako kasulod sa any government office after my retirement from the service. No? Pero kasi masiling ka mo 65 ka naman, pwede pa. Siyempre, hindi pa na pwede kung 65 ka na, no? Kasulod ka na kung you are coterminous, no? You are consultant. But if you will do the permanent appointment, no, you are not allowed if you are 65 and above. Okay, so okay na intindihan na naton. Okay. Recommend any person to any position in a private enterprise which has a regular or pending transaction with their office. Okay, ari. Sa POA, ako ga-obra. So, ang akong obra is to issue licenses of recruitment agencies. You are asked by a relative or friend to recommend him to a recruitment agency for a job abroad. If you recommend him to that agency, it might feel that it has no choice but to accept the person you are recommending for fear that you will not renew the agency's license. Di ba la? Recommend ko to. Karon mahambal ang agency nga recruitment agency kinahanglan i-absorb ko niya nga gin-recommend base ko mag-renew ko karon sang license ko pabudlayan niya ko. O di ba? So hindi pwede. Nga i-recommend mo ang anybody to recommend mo imo relative to an agency which has a pending, no, transaction with you or naka-transact sa imo opisina. Okay? Disclosure or misuse of confidential information. Shall not use or divulge confidential or classified information officially known to them by reason of their office and not made available to the public. So, hindi na pwede. May chismis mo to kung anong nakita mo dira sa iya 201 file. Like, for example, ikaw da ang HR o kung ikaw da in charge sa iya 201 file, nakikita mo to nga may something to, so i-chismis mo siya. So, it is not. No? It is illegal. No? Because you are not allowed to disclose whatever you have seen. That's why sa mga PSB, sa HRM PSB, confidential na siya. No? So ano na siya nga mga documents? Documents concerning national security, military operations, military strategies, So kung ikaw involved ko dahil hindi mo pwede i-divulge. No? Documents that may place in danger life and safety. No? Drafts. So nag-draft ang court. Wala pa gani ma-final. Draft pa lang ganito. Gin-divulge mo ng amote. So ma-change bi ang mind. No? Ma-change bi ang mind, or if not, may nakita bitong ano, so para na ang decision. So you are preempting the decision of the pareho man na sa aton. Like for example, sa office, nag-draft ka decision, nag-draft ka recommendation. It is not yet final, wala pa na mapirmahan, nanugid ka na imo sa client na amo na ni, so hindi na siya pwede. Documents falling under established privilege, closed door cabinet sessions, trade secrets. No? Information that invades personal privacy, na, tandaan nyo ni, nagpa-check up ka. So, hindi pwede nga si physician, si doktor, i-divulge siya ang imo, dahil nga finding siya sa imo. No? Unless nga, i-allow mo siya. That is why sometimes, no, pag may mga patient na siya nga hindi gusto mabalaan sa pamilya, ya kung anong natabo sa iya, mahambal nang na ang patient, hindi ko gusto mabalaan sa pamilya ko, the doctor hindi din mag-divulge na. No? Unless may court order. No? So, amo na siya. So those which may interfere the enforcement proceedings, deprive a person of fair trial, disclose the identity of a confidential source, or may lead to premature speculations in currencies. So amo na siya hindi nyo gid pwede i-disclose. Okay. Ari, solicitations or acceptance of gifts. O, nagbalikid si ma'am. Okay, solicitation or acceptance of gifts. Naminsar ka mo, ano? Okay. We shall not solicit or accept directly or indirectly any gift, gratuity, favor, entertainment, loan, or anything of monetary value from any person in the course of their official duties or in connection with any operation being regulated by or any transaction which may be affected by the functions of their office. Okay. Sana ka mo? Okay. Now, the rule of thumb is, if you have doubts as to whether it is right to accept something or to accept a gift, then you must not accept it at all. Kung doubt ikaw. Okay. So, naminsar na ka mo. May exception bala sini? What do you think? So, what do we find or how do we define gift? So, sa RA 6713, the word gift is defined. No, sa ato niya, gift, tanan-tanan, gift. No, gift. Gift. Okay. So, under RA 6713, gift is defined as a thing or a right disposed of gratuitously or any act of liberality in favor of another who accepts it. That is a gift. Includes a simulated sale or an ostensibly onerous disposition thereof. So, hindi lang sila yung simulated sale, dala po na da. Okay. Receiving any gifts includes the act of accepting directly or indirectly a gift from a person other than a member of one's family or relative for civil degree of consanguinity or affinity. Okay. So, pwede. Sorry. So, ang gift includes the act of accepting directly or indirectly a gift from a person other than a member of one's family. Kung magsiling kita for civil degree of consanguinity or affinity, study na. Okay, thank you, ma'am. First cousin. Okay. Ari, even on occasion of a family celebration or national festivity like Christmas. Okay. Now, Ari, if the value of the gift is neither nominal nor insignificant, or the gift is given in anticipation or in exchange for a favor, no? So, kung naghatag sa isang gift, bisan insignificant na, o kung nabalang na ang value, pero may gina-anticipate siya in exchange of that gift. So, we are not allowed to accept that. No? Sa inyo nga mga maestra, ano ba ang pwede nga gift? No, ang parent, gusto nyo mag-enroll yung bata, tagaan ka mo gift. Pwede na bala? Okay, kung hindi enroll, hindi pwede, no? Okay. Okay. Now here. Now, exceptions. May exceptions, mandali no? What are exempted from those? If the gift is unsolicited. Wala ka to nangayo. No? Of nominal or insignificant value. When we say nominal or insignificant value, paano kita kasiling ang gift is nominal value? Tagaan niya kaabi kulintas na 18K no nga gold. Nominal value na. O kung tagaan niya ikaw bi isa ka lechon nga baboy. No? Or tagaan niya kabi house and lot. Okay. So, nominal value. Not given in anticipation of or in exchange of a favor. So, ginatag lang nina, tungod nga kabubuton niya na. No? Ginatag sa imo. Wala siya na-expect. No? Wala siya na-expect any favor or return. Okay. So, when you say nominal, kung tagaan niya, bi ikaw isa ka pan nga Angelina, how do you classify it? Nominal value or an insignificant value? Pwede, no? 65 man lang na ang ano. Nagula man yung pangayo, basi iba pumahaw, yan na sa inyo, tungod nga, ara da bata, yan, para kakaon man, no? Kung yung tagaan niya, kabi ballpen nga nami, no? Ay naglakat saya sa may Hong Kong, nagbakal sa tuya sang mga refrigerator nga ano tawag kanina, na mga giveaways or mga what we call this, mga souvenirs. Siyempre, tagpila lang na to, no? So, pwede na naton batunon, provided wala siya kapangayo sang favor. No? Kag it is of nominal value. Oo, depende sa time.
Kung may transaction ka na.
Yes, sakto ma'am.
So, pwede. Pero kung tapos yung transaction.
So, pwede. Okay. So, paghatag yan sa imo, thank you ma'am, no? Karami sa imo nga insights, no? Nga kung pwede nato na batunon kung tapos ng iya transaction. No? Pero kung nakatransact siya sa imo, gusto ya unahon gid siya, no? So, amo na hindi maayo, no? Pero kung natapos na siya, na okay na to siya, and then the next week, next month, ang balik siya, naging tagaan niya ka, in favor, saying thank you, no? Appreciation niya sa imo, and it is of nominal value, pwede natin patunon, no? Tagaan niya baka isa kasako, mabugas. Juan Pabi, Azucena. No?
So
Asmin.
pwede next month na
Okay. So, depende sa imo, no? Okay. It shall be unlawful, no? For any person to obtain or use any statement filed under this act for any purpose contrary to morals or public policy, and any commercial purpose other than by news and communications media for dissemination to the public. Okay. Okay, penalties under Section 11 of RA 6713. Ano nga ito yung mga penalties? If we have committed this one. So violation of any of the provisions no, under RA 6713, you will be fined not exceeding the equivalent of 6 months' salary, or suspension not exceeding 1 year, removal from the office depending on the gravity of the offense, imprisonment not exceeding 5 years, or fine not exceeding 5,000, or both, and disqualified to hold public office as determined by the discretion of the court of competent jurisdiction. Okay. Like for example, dishonesty. So if you commit it, usually sa mga anong dishonesty, ang fake eligibilities na ba na? Puso na sa una, no? Subong hindi na. So once you find guilty, you will be disqualified to hold public office and you withdraw ang imo nga eligibility. Now, private individuals who participate in conflicts with public officials and employees in violation of RA 6713 shall be subject to the same penal liabilities as the public officers or employees and shall be tried jointly with them. Okay. So may private individual kang may conspiracy ka mo, no? Sa pag-obra sa pag-commit sina kung ano imo nga liability, pareho man na liability, no? Dagduha ka mo will be accused or will be subject to scrutiny or subject to court
Sige, Ben. Try, Ben, ma'am.
Okay. So I will end my discussion on this saying Aldo Leopold, no? Ethical behavior is doing the right thing when no one else is watching, even when doing the right thing is legal. It was character that got us out of bed, commitment that moved us into action, and discipline that enabled us to follow through. Once again, good morning. I hope na you have learned something from what I have discussed this morning. Thank you very much and good day. Thank you. Sino nang bulus?
Sino? Dalang Sir GMT-8, tadya sa ano? Tadya sa media. Wala, sir. Nag-lag to, sir. Dito, sir. Dalang, sir, sa yun. Ano? Sa... Thank you. Congratulations. Ano? Kaya ko na lang. Si mama. Okay, then. Ate. Sige na naman. Sir, ito sila naman sa i-off na niyo. Yung lang sa camera mo, ma'am. Pila ka lang. Pilaya na po. Sige na. Ilang dito mag-work mo isa wala ka. Kung sila mo punipilit, hindi lang sa report. Pero mga pwede ba sa lakwas? Hindi mo na ako. Pero kung idagol mo na pwede, pula talang mga 5 minutes.
Maward na kita, ma'am.
Thank you, Ma'am Garces. This time, I request Dr. Rita S. Caigoy, Principal 3 of Gimbal Central Elementary School, to give the certificate of recognition and a civic token to our guest speaker. The certificate reads as Republic of the Philippines, Department of Education, Region 6, Western Visayas, Schools Division of Iloilo, Schools District of Gimbal, Gimbal Central Elementary School. Certificate of recognition is hereby given Lucretia G. Garces for her generous sharing of time and expertise as a resource speaker during the mid-year's in-service training virtual for teachers held at Gimbal Central Elementary School, District of Gimbal on February 8 to 13, 2021. Given this 13th day of February 2021 at Gimbal, Iloilo, Philippines. Signed, Rita S. Caigoy, PhD, Principal 3, District LDFO. Signed, Edmond M. Mirasol, Public Schools District Supervisor. On behalf of the faculty of Gimbal Central Elementary School, thank you, ma'am, for sharing with us the important information about code of conduct of ethical standards. Thank you, Ma'am Kaigoy and Ma'am Garces. At this time, let us hear from Mrs. Rita S. Kaigoy, Principal 3 of Gimbal Central Elementary School, to talk about supervisory concern. In behalf of and to discuss more on supervisory concern, let us welcome Ma'am Isusa Gasolasco, Master Teacher 1 of Gimbal Central Elementary School.
Okay, good morning, everyone. Okay, my topic this morning is about the school-based management or the SBM. School-based management is a strategy to improve education by transferring Good morning. Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay, good morning. My topic this morning is about the school-based management or the SBM. School-based management is a strategy to improve education by transferring significant decision-making authority from the state and district offices to the individual school. SBM provides principals, teachers, students, and parents greater control over the education process by giving them responsibility for decisions about the budget, personnel, and the curriculum. Through the involvement of the teachers, parents, and other community members in this key decision, SBM can create more effective learning environments for children. The school-based management is a DepEd trust that decentralizes the decision-making from the central office and field offices to individual schools to enable them to better respond to their specific education needs. What are the advantages? It allows competent individuals in the schools to make decisions that will improve learning, give the entire school community a voice in key decisions, focus accountability for decisions, lead to greater creativity in the design of programs, redirect resources to support the goals developed in each school, lead to realistic budgeting as parents and teachers become more aware of the school financial status, spending limitations, and the cost of its programs, and improve morale of teachers and nurture new leaderships at all levels. Why SBM is important? The essential purpose of redistributing decision-making authority to increase the autonomy of the critical stakeholders is to improve the instructional process and all the rarely stated student outcomes. SBM is frequently advocated on the grounds that it increases the accountability of school site personnel. So why do we assess the school-based management practices? First is to determine the level of SBM practices in school. It provides basis on which to establish its plan of action. Improve the SBM support system through interventions that the school and the other admin levels of DepEd. Determine effectiveness of SBM practices in the delivery of basic education services. Okay, the rating scale for our SBM is 0 if there's no means of verification or there's no MOBs. My SBM level 1 kita if okay. The rating scale is 0 if there's no means of verification or there's no MOBs. My SBM level 1 kita if the MOBs indicate early or preliminary stages of implementation. SBM level 2 if the MOBs indicate planned practices and procedures are fully implemented. And SBM level 3 if the MOBs indicate practices and procedures satisfy quality standards. Here's the description of SBM level of practice. Level 1 is participation and impact on the learning outcomes. Then the level 2 or the maturing introduce and sustain continuous improvement process that integrates wider community participation and improve significantly performance and learning outcomes. And level 3 in the advanced or the accredited level ensures the production of intended outcomes, and meeting all standards of a system fully integrated in the local community. Hindi namin ang... Yeah. Level 2, maturing. Introducing and sustaining continuous improvement process that integrates wider community participation and improves significantly performance and learning outcomes. Level 3, or sa advanced na level or accredited level, ensuring the production of intended outputs or outcomes. Balik ako sa Okay, level 2, maturing, introducing and sustaining a continuous improvement process that integrates wider community participation and improve significantly performance and learning outcomes. And level 3 kita or sa advanced or accredited level if we ensure the production of intended outputs or outcomes and meeting all standards of a system fully integrated in the local community and is self-renewing and self-sustaining. Okay, here's the SBM scoring matrix. So we have two areas, improvement of learning outcomes, which is 60%, kag ang SBM practices nga 40%. Ang sa improvement or sa improvement of learning outcomes, ang ang access or sa enrollment increase, which is 45%, efficiency, the completion rate, cohort survival rate, dropout rate, which is 25%, and the quality, which is the NAP MPS, which is 30%. And ang sa SBM practices or the DOD, ang 40%. No? Okay, what are the 4 principles of the SBM? First, we have the principle of collective leadership and governance. Second principle is the principle of community-based learning. The principle of accountability of performance and results, and the principle of convergence to harness resources for education. These 4 principles were assigned percentage weights on the basis of their relative importance to the aim of the school, that is to improve learning outcomes and school operation. These 4 principles are the leadership and governance, that is given 30%, curriculum and learning 30%, and accountability and continuous improvement 25%, and management of resources is 15%. Each principle has several indicators based on the result of the DOD or the document, analysis, observation, discussion. Ang ating mga MOBs o ating mga evidences. We're going to summarize the evidences and arrive at a consensus on the rating that will be given in each indicator. Okay, so here's the step kung paano kita mag-rate kang ating o paano kita ginaratean kang ating SBM. So step 1, they were going to determine the performance improvement ang sa access, enrollment increase, efficiency, dropout rate, completion rate, and the quality, which is the NAT MPS. Ang sa access, 45%, in the increase of enrollment, we will be given 1 na rating, or it is in a marginal if the indicator has 1 to 3% increase. A rating of 2, or which is average, kung ang atin na increase is from 3.01 to 5%. And a rating of 3, which is high, if it is 5.01% up na increase. And sa efficiency, which is 25%, decrease of the dropout rate. We'll be given a rating of 1, which is marginal, if the indicator has 0.1 to 2% decrease. A
a rating of 2, which is average, if we have 2.01 to 4% decrease, and a rating of 3, which is high, if more than 4% decrease. Sa increase of completion rate, a rating of 1, if the indicator has 1 to 3% increase, a rating of 2, which is average, if it has 3.01 to 5% increase, and a rating of 3, which is high, if we have 5.01% up na increase. Sa quality and relevance, which is 30%, increase of achievement rate. It is about the not average for last 3 years. So on description, so rating of 1, if my 26 to 50%, rating of 2, which is average, 51 to 75%, rating of 3, which is high, if we have 76 to 100%. Okay, so next is compute for validated SBM assessment score, which is 40%. So, amo dyan ang mga SBM principles, ang apat ka principles. So, leadership and governance, 30% ang weight, then cumulative score na, and we're going to multiply, they are going to multiply it to 0.30. So, curriculum learning, 30%. So, ang score will be multiplied to 0.30. Accountability and continuous improvement, which is 25%. So the result will be multiplied to 0.25, and the resource management, which is 15%, the result will be multiplied to 0.50. So step 3, compute for final rating. We're going to add the 2 areas, the performance improvement and the SBM assessment score. So we have here example weight 60%. Ang 40% ang sa SBM assessment score. So, ang sample dyan, example abi, computation the 2.65 ang score, then multiply sa 0.60, ang result is 1.59. Ang sa assessment, SBM assessment is 2.5 ang score, yun multiply sa 0.40, so the result is 1. So the total score is 2.5, and the SBM level of practice is advanced. So ano dyan ang SBM level of practice? If the numerical rating is from 0.50 to 149, nasa developing nga level. Ang 1.50 to 2.49 is the maturing or level 2, or ang 2.5 to 3 is the advanced, o ang sa level 3. So, sa atin dyan sa Central School, for how many ratings na nag-agi rin, ang atin nga level is dyan pa lang kita sa developing. So, work out kang tanan nga mga members o sa mga members kang sa SBM nga folders, in charge of folders, nga maka-come up kita rin dyan sa maturing nga level o sa level 2 nga may rating scale nga 1.5 to 249. Okay. DOD. Palantaw ng mga, okay. Okay na? Okay. So, ipakita ko lang kaninyo ang mga DOD o mga evidences or ang MOBs na kinahanglanan para maka-score kita nga 1 or a rating of 2 or a rating of 3. Sa leadership and governance, so hindi jagid may nabaton pa kami kadyang nga mga nga checklist pero may kulang-kulang para rin sa ginapakita ako talad. So mas madugo pag ito or mas rak pag ang ana nga mga evidences or MOBs nga kinahanglan. So example sa leadership in governance, so sa number 1 sa indicators. So makabagal kita o matawaan kita kang rating nga 1 if we can comply with all the evidences nga nakalista didya. And a rating of 2 kung ang evidence sa number 1 kag sa 2 makamply natin, kag a rating of 3 kung ang tatlo kadya ka mga evidences makumpleto natin. So here's the example, another example, and just this is for number 1 sa leadership and governance. Okay, so amo dya ang mga MOBs na or mga evidences nga kinahanglanan natin. Drag ko lang to check. I-drag ko lang para og lalon. Scroll. Okay. Okay, so curriculum and instruction. So these are the a list of MOBs or list of evidences or artifacts. Okay, so number 1. So daw gawa dyan, no? Okay, and sa accountability and continuous improvement. Example, so may evidences. Okay. And sa management of resources, so here are the evidences needed. Okay. Okay, so those are the evidences or the artifacts nga kinahanglanan natin tipunon, no, para maka-come up kita. Ang gina-aim natin for this school year or is mga maka level 2 kita or sa developing. Sige pa. Okay, last na lang man ah. Okay. Okay, so about to teachers, ang mga evidences na kinahanglan or mga MOBs na kinahanglan natin, no, para maka-level up kita sa level 2 SBM level of practice. So, nagapangayo kami sa inyong cooperation o hindi lang magkataka kung ang mga members or ang mga in charge sa folders like sa example kay Ma'am Sol Hinona, kay Ma'am Jessica, kay Ma'am Elena, sanda ka dyan ang mga in charge, and yours truly, kami ka dyan ang in charge sa folders. So, hindi lang kamo magkataka kung rake ang mga data ang ginapangayo namin kaninyo. So, we need your cooperation, and I'd like to congratulate also and thank you sa tanan ka dyan nga mga teachers nga cooperate kag naga-support sa atin nga para ma-come up natin o matipon natin ang tanan-tanan ng mga evidences. No? Okay, so before I end I would like to share this thoughts, no? Today will never come again. Be a blessing, be a friend, encourage someone, take time to care, let your words heal and not wound. So thank you and keep safe everyone and God bless.
Greetings of peace and abundance to each and everyone. I would like to give some overview about some of the key programs and projects of the DepEd. Being the district LDFO, I need to discuss this a little bit too. So the first one is the TIP. TIP or the Teacher Induction Program. All teachers who have 3 or less than or less in experience should undergo this TIP. So we have for Gimba Central, we have 8, and they have already given the module, and they have already started more than a year for this program. So it's just a self-learning module with the master teachers as their consultant or mentor. And then the number 2, we have the RPMS. Under the RPMS, we have there the IPCRF. And then for the school head or the non-teaching, we have the OPCRF. OP means office. And then we have the LAC, the Learning Action Cell. For the school level, we have the SLAC or the School Learning Action Cell. So for Gimbal Central, we have divided the group into 6, and we have also 6 master teachers that serves as your LAC leaders. Then we have also the LDM 1 and 2 courses, or the Learning Delivery Modality courses. This is a course offered by the NAEAP or the National Educators Academy of the Philippines. This is a mandate, or this is a required courses wherein we are going to undergo or to enroll. So for this LDM1, this is for the school heads. And then for the LDM2, this is for the teachers. So you were also divided into 6 groups under your master teachers in charge. And then we have also the INSET, the in-service training, wherein every year there are 2 in-service training. We have the mid-year and the summer inset. For this February, we call this as the mid-year inset, in-service trainings. So those are the key programs and projects that are revolving for every school year in every DepEd or the public schools in our country. The next that I'm going to give some overview is about the SBM level practice. The SBM level, the SBM level practice was discussed to us by Ma'am Susanita Gasolasco, the chairperson for the SBM level practice. And then the other one, SBM, is the SBM WINS, or Was in School programs. And this is being headed by Ma'am Dolores Gayem, who is our school or district health coordinator. The SBM WINS or Was in School program has 8 components. They are oral hygiene and proper hand washing, provision of safe and adequate water supply, provision of toilet hand washing and drainage facilities. Number 4, we have the environmental sanitation. 5, food sanitation. 6, menstrual hygiene management. Number 7, deworming. And the 8, hygiene and sanitation education. So in our school, we often heard SBM. So may WINS, SBM WINS, and SBM level of practice. So they have their own schedule on when to have the online evaluation or online encoding of some data. Next. just this January 11, 2021 rather, we have the DepEd had released the memorandum, department memorandum about the RPMS. This has something to do with planning, human resource, and organizational development. So this RPMS is the latest version because of this COVID. So they call it as guidelines on the implementation of the results-based performance management system for school year 2020-2021. So this memorandum is hereby issued to provide comprehensive guidelines to all DepEd schools in the implementation of RPMS for 2020-2021. So as usual, we have the 4 RPMS cycles. The first cycle, or the phase 1, is the performance planning and commitment. So the schedule for this is this January 2021. So during this phase, we are expected to have the capacity building activities, presentation of RPMS tools in the time of COVID-19. And the responsible persons for this are the school's division office, the school, and the school head, and the raters, which are the teachers. For the phase 2, we have the performance monitoring and coaching. The duration is this March, coming March 2021. The activities or expected activities is the media review with development planning. The in charge for this are the school head, the raters, and the ratees. And then we have also the monitoring and coaching. The schedule of this is January 2021 to June 2021. Persons responsible for this are the school heads and the raters. For the phase 3, we have the year-end review. The schedule for this is a week after scheduled graduation. So the task or the activities for this is the year-end review. The responsible persons are the raters, the ratees, and the approving authorities. And the last phase is the performance rewarding and development planning. The activity is ways forward development planning. So persons responsible are the ratees or the teachers. The schedule of this is a week after scheduled graduation also. And then another task for the phase 4, we have the IPCRF data collection. The responsible person, school head, and the raters. The schedule for this is also a month after scheduled graduation. So all presented means of verification or MOP shall be obtained from January 2021 to May 2021 for RPMS Objective 1 to 5, 1, 5, and 7, and from October 2020 to May 2021 for RPMS Objectives 2, 3, 4, 6, 8, and 12. And also in this memorandum, this is quite easier for us because in the memo, it stipulates here the objectives based on the PPST priority indicator, and there is also samples of means of verification. So each one of you, each one should be given or should try their best to download and print the hard copy for your reference so that you could come up with your IPCRF 2020-2021. So those are the things about our RPMS. And then because of this COVID-19, each school was given the authority to have to come up with a school learning continuity plan. Actually, the school learning continuity plan was crafted before the opening of school year 2020-2021. And supposedly, this should be crafted by the school community planning team like the SIP that we have. So, this school learning continuity plan is the answer for this pandemic because as we all know and according to based on our observations, the education of our learners now are we encounter so many difficulties because of the drastic change happening worldwide because of this COVID-19. So each school was mandated to comply with the school learning continuity plan wherein all our actions from planning, from making of the activity sheets, making of or reproduction of the modules should be stipulated in the school learning continuity plan. And we have presented this also because there was a schedule before that we are going to present the school learning continuity plan to the district level, and this will be monitored by the division personnel. So our school learning continuity plan, this was not actually discussed in toto to each one of you. Only few of our teachers here able to say this. And this continuity plan, uh, it stipulates here the reasons why we have chosen module or modular modality as our mode of teaching to our learners because of some difficulties. We cannot have the online because of some hindrances. Not all the people in our community can have the internet access. So the group decided that, and even mostly, if not mga 90% of our schools now are having this module learning delivery mode. So we have also the action plan for this and some of the data that we need to comply based on the template given to us from the higher office. So that's all about the school learning continuity plan. It's very necessary or it's very nice if it's grade level should have a copy of this school learning continuity plan to serve as a guide on this COVID-19 what we call this, a COVID-19 era. And then before I forget also, in our school improvement plan or the SIP, we have the 5 priority improvement areas. The first one, we have the math clinic, that is for mathematics program, and that is spearheaded by Ma'am Judy Hintapao, and we have also the Bata Ko Sagot Ko, that is for the revision. The in charge for this is Ma'am Romela Mateo, and then the other one, we have the Pagbabago, which is about the SBM level of practice. This is being chaired by Ma'am Luz Herafil, and we have also My God GAD, or the Gender and Development. This is headed by our school God coordinator, Ma'am Julian Pasao, and we have for the DRR Laging Handa, and this is headed by Sir Skim Guevara. So those priority improvement areas or the programs are just revolving in every school year. All the activities for our learners should anchor on those 5 priority improvement areas for our SIP. Remember, all the activities that we are doing, the school learning continuity plan, the annual improvement plan, the budget for the MOE should also anchor. It should be parallel on the SIP that we are having. So when we say mga programs and projects, it should be anchored on the 5 improvement priorities of the school to achieve all those things is our diskarte. Ato na na iya strategy. So sa tanan-tanan, I would like to thank and congratulate to each one of you, all the people of Gimbal Central Elementary School, especially the teachers. You are doing well your work just to impart or to reach or to achieve our goal for our learners to learn. No, we are trying our best in spite of some hindrances and the hardships that we encountered. Right now, we are having the problem about the scarcity of resources, especially in the reproduction of modules. That is why this afternoon, I'm going to meet all the barangay captains in the population so that they will know what's going on. They will know the status, the present status of Gimbal Central Elementary School. They will know where the MOE goes. They will know what are the projects and everything about our school, because we believe that education is very effective if each one of us are working towards it. So it, as they said oftentimes, it takes a village to educate a child. So not only the school, we will also involve the stakeholders, the external stakeholders, well, the LGU, from municipal to the barangay level. We have also the church, no, the health, and all the people surrounding the school, our stakeholders. We have also the alumni. So that is why we should keep in touch with our external stakeholders, because teachers and the parents, we all working towards, we can consider ourselves as the internal stakeholders. So I reiterate, thank you so much and congratulations to the speakers for this in-service trainings, the mid-year in-service trainings that we have, the people behind the scene, the technical staff headed by Sir Reggie Heriane, Sir Ski, Ma'am Shinley, and all the people. I know you are working hard to have this successful inset that we have. To the visitor, to the guests we have from the Civil Service Commission, we have Ma'am Lucrecia Garces. Thank you so much. We have learned so much from your talk, because as human as we are, we tend to forget sometimes because of the so many things to think about with regards to our work. So thank you so much. Tanan-tanan, nga wala ko ma-mention, and even our stakeholders of parents, PTA, and everyone. Keep safe. Thank you, thank you, thank you. More power, and God bless.
Thank you, Ma'am Kaigoy and Ma'am Gasulasco. That ends our morning session. Thank you and God bless us all.